Ladies and gents, I am the one and only DJ Storms. Welcome back to the channel on YouTube.com. It is, of course, Tuesday, June 1st, 2021. We are just getting set to enter the dog days of summer. And we started off summer in a big fucking way. A couple of nights ago on Sunday, May 30th, Memorial Day weekend with All Elite Wrestling's Double or Nothing 2021 pay-per-view. This is, of course, the official rewind for Double or Nothing 2021, which, of course, was streaming live on Bleacher Report and all other pay-per-view platforms on Sunday, May 30th, with the buy-in starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We got a lot of material to go over. And AEW definitely knocked it out of the park with a huge pay-per-view. 10 matches on the card. There was a lot of newsworthy material. Multiple match of the year candidates. All matches had the right outcomes. And I know a lot of people have become a little apprehensive about All Elite Wrestling, considering Tony Khan has kind of botched a few major endings to a few major shows. Mainly Revolution and Blood and Guts. We all know what happened there, but I think it's safe to say Tony Khan redeemed himself. He redeemed himself. Everything was straightforward. Nothing was too over the top. We got great wrestling, right outcomes. They made everyone look good. And at the end of the day, you can't really ask for anything more. And based on this show, we are in for a very, 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 very fun summer for All Elite Wrestling. We have a lot to go over, and we're not going to waste any time. I would like to thank each and every single one of you for coming back here to the channel. We got a busy summer ahead of us, specifically for me, mainly because I'm starting my new internship next week. I will keep you guys updated on what the deal is with the brand. Obviously, the weekly streams are going to have to take a back seat, so we're going to do a big weekly stream this week in which I am going to go over how you make SummerSlam the best pay-per-view of the year. We're going to go over all the matches that should take place at SummerSlam, starting at the top with the rumored Universal title match between Roman Reigns and a returning John Cena. Of course, I will be reviewing all 5 weekly shows, including Raw, NXT, NXT UK, Dynamite, and SmackDown. But of course, that is on Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm also going to see that new Conjuring movie. I'm not sure if you guys are horror fans, but Conjuring, I've loved that series ever since it came out. Loved the first movie. The first movie is actually my second favorite movie of all time. So I'm going to see that new Conjuring movie, The Devil Made Me Do It. Should be a very good movie right there. And we got a lot of material to dissect. 10 matches, as I said. But before we get into that, obviously, you got to make sure that you follow me on the Twitter sticks. Of course, at HistoryMaker DJS, you'll find out why I am the operator of the best damn Twitter handle known to mankind. Follow me on Instagram as well, at the DJ Storms. Add me on Facebook, for collaborations and business inquiries. Please send me an email. My email is, of course, StormsTakeOver@gmail.com. Like the official DJ Storms business page, and I made you send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms posse group on Facebook. That is, all of those links are in the description. If you missed the Lightning Flash update from last week, please go check that one out as well. We did talk about Cena and Reigns at SummerSlam. We did talk about a lot of material, including Nick Khan. No relation to AEW President Tony Khan, but WWE President Nick Khan. He supposedly is gaining a tighter grip on the company with the recent firings of a lot of WWE executives. So we talk about that. I did my normal rants on Monday Night Raw as well. We are about 5 minutes into the video. I don't know what you're doing. I really don't know what you're doing, but we got goals here we want to reach. The goal here is 30 likes as per usual here on the channel. So if you're in the chat right now, there's a little like button. It's right down there. All you need to do is scroll down with your mouse and clickety-click. hit that like button so that way I can get one step closer to my goal of 30 likes for this video. And of course, in order for us to inch closer to the goal of 30 likes, I am going to need y'all to share out the stream, whether it be on the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter, the Pinterest, the Tumblr, whatever social media platforms that you got. I'm going to need you to share it out on all platforms of social media, and I'm going to need you to notify everyone that DJ Storms is out on YouTube with a new video. I'm talking about your mothers, your fathers, your brothers, your sisters, your sons, your daughters, your uncles, your aunts, grandmothers, grandfathers, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th cousins twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times removed, your dogs, and your cats, and especially your guinea pigs, because I have so many articles lodged in my laptop, taking up space, making my laptop run slow, that specifically state that guinea pigs are said to live long and happy and healthy, fruitful lives when they are exposed to DJ Storm. So if you got a guinea pig and you want him or her to live a long, happy, healthy, fruitful life, you gotta give him a daily dose of Mr. Controversy himself. Give him a daily dose of the Jersey Devil. Of course, you gotta make sure that when you come on in, share it out, hit the like button. You gotta make sure you hit the subscribe button because I'm trying to grow and expand. Hit the subscribe button, become a member of DJ Storm's posse, and hit that notifications bell with a huge coup de grace. That way you will know whenever I pop up on YouTube. Because whenever I pop up on YouTube, it's the best time to be on YouTube. It's the only time you're gonna get to see this glorious sideburn chin strap combination. And this beautiful mustache right here. Give me one sec. Yeah, look at it. Because everybody wants piece of the Storm's Meister. Everybody. Anyway, enough of the self-brand promotion and the advertisements. We are going to get straight into the review, the rewind for AEW Double or Nothing 2021. So, the pay-per-view started off on the buy-in with Serena Deeb versus Riho. This was for the NWA Women's World Championship, and both women brought it here for Double or Nothing on the buy-in. Both women delivered a very, very, very good match. Whether you want to admit it or not, both of these women are excellent professional wrestlers. Riho, I know a lot of people may not be fans of Riho, but she knows how to make her opponent look good. Serena Deeb is a very good professional wrestler in her own right. She's a very good technical wrestler. She knows how to tell a story in the ring. Both women worked very well together. Both women told a very, very, very good story. And the crowd, this was only the buy-in match. There was legit no build for this match. Crowd was fucking hot. For this match, and man, have I missed wrestling crowds. The crowd was awesome throughout the entire night. The crowd was on fire the entire night. So, Deeb, she targeted the leg of Riho. She was obviously the heel in this match. She's been displaying more heelish tactics since she's returned to television from that knee injury back in the winter. So Riho fought back. Deeb shut down her momentum pretty quickly with a nice neck breaker on the ropes. That got a 2 count. Riho mounted a comeback with a big diving foot stomp. Riho with a head scissors and a 619 for a 2 count. Deeb then locked in an octopus stretch. Transition into the guillotine. Riho, very, very powerful for a small individual. Riho with a Northern Lights suplex for a 2. So Riho then missed another diving foot stomp, and the leg was obviously the target of Deeb. Deeb targeted the leg with a swinging neck breaker in the ring for a 2. Deeb then with a double dragon screw leg whip. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Double dragon screw leg whip and a power bomb for a 2 onto Riho. Riho then with a snapdragon suplex, diving foot stomp to the back. Deeb then locked in a single leg crab. Riho just got to the ropes. Deeb hit Riho's knee on the mat and then locked in the Serenity Lock. and Riho tapped out. Serena Deeb retains the NWA Women's World Championship in a very, very, very good women's match here on the buy-in. Crowd was fucking hot. Crowd loved Riho, booed Deeb, and both of these women, they set the pace very, very nicely for the rest of the night. Matter of fact, I would even go so far as to say that these women had a better match than Sheeda and Baker did. I would go so far as to say these women had a better match than Sheeda and Baker. Now, what's going on as far as these two women are concerned in the future? Riho is in a role right now where she is not going to win any championships. She's not going to be involved in any major feuds. Riho is in a position right now where she is a talent that is a great wrestler, and she's over with the audience, and she's going to give her opponents a great match, and she's ultimately going to lose. Riho is there to enhance other women. And Riho is not going to be in any major storylines, any major feuds, any major championship matches anytime soon. She is there to help her opponents get over. That's exactly what she did for Serena Deeb. I can definitely see her doing the same thing for Britt Baker down the line one of these days. But as far as Serena Deeb goes, Riho made Serena Deeb look very good. Deeb obviously playing up to that heel nature, that aggressive nature. Really brought out a new side of her that I don't think I've seen in a long, long time. So I like what they were doing there with Serena Deeb. And in the future, Serena Deeb is going to come face-to-face sometime this summer with Thunder Rosa. And I do believe that Thunder Rosa will win the NWA Women's World Championship back. And down the line, we will see Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker title for title when the time is right, and Thunder Rosa is going to win both championships. But I'm glad that they didn't do Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb right out of the gate at Double or Nothing, and instead they went with Deeb and Riho, and Deeb got her win back from that tournament back in February, and ultimately we got a very good showcase for both women here on the buy-in. So Serena Deeb retains the NWA Women's World Championship, rightfully so. Thunder Rosa is in her future real soon. The main show started off with Brian Cage versus Adam Hangman Page. This is a match that I had my eye close on, specifically because I really wanted to see what Adam Page and Brian Cage could do in a scenario where they are given an ample amount of time. So, Brian Cage, he came out dressed like Terminator. He looked great. He really looked great. He looked legit. He looked intimidating. He looked like a fucking superstar. And I had a feeling he was going to bring something out. He was going to bring something like that out for Double or Nothing, considering this was a big show for AEW. Adam Page, he came out. His music hit. The crowd fucking exploded. They exploded for Adam Hangman Page. And based on that reaction, I said it again. I'm going to say it, I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it. Adam Page is your next AEW World Champion. There's no way you can't put the World Championship on this guy. This guy is fucking over. And I mean over. As soon as his music hit, the crowd erupted. Absolutely fucking erupted. There's no way that you can't push this guy to the moon, whether it be at All Out, or whether they do it at Full Gear. One or the other. One or the other. It's either going to be at All Out, or it's going to be at Full Gear. If I'm going to make a call, I'm going to say All Out. Considering that that's the pay-per-view where Hangman could not win the World Championship initially, and now he's going to do it at this year's All Out. But this was a huge pop for Paige. Very, very, very happy to hear that pop for Paige. And that is the pop that is going to maintain Adam Hangman Page's momentum going into his eventual match with Kenny Omega down the line. And I'm very, very happy that Paige was not in the Battle Royal, and they actually gave him a separate match with Brian Cage. So, we had Paige keeping the aggression on Cage early before Cage got hit with a tope suicida. Big plancha, but it was caught. Cage then hit a power bomb. He had Paige in a power slam position, transitioned into a powerbomb position, and powerbombed them into the steel post. Cage then slowed the pace down before Paige sent Cage over the top with a clothesline. Paige then with a beautiful Orihara moonsault to the floor. Both men then were on the top. Cage was caught with a huge Hurricane Rana off the middle rope by Paige for a 2. Cage then with a super kick. Paige then caught Cage with a big lariat for a 2. Cage then with a swinging neckbreaker for a 2. Cage then dropped Paige on the top rope. Cage with a deadlift superplex, Cesaro-like superplex to Adam Page on the ramp. It looked brutal. It looked brutal there. Page hit with a thud. Cage then placed Page on the top rope, and he climbed up to the middle rope, and he hit an F5. An F5 off the middle rope on Paige. Paige just kicked out of that one. Cage then went for the buckshot lariat himself. Cage went for Paige's move. Paige then hoisted Cage up on his shoulders, and he hit Cage with the F5. And Cage kicked out. Paige then got dropped on his head with a nasty German suplex. Cage then with a powerbomb. Paige then got caught with a spinning powerbomb, a tornado bomb. Paige just kicked out. Out of nowhere, we had Starks and Hook. Starks and Hook came out. Cage was then given the FTW World Championship. Hook was distracting the ref. Starks gave Cage the FTW World Championship, and Cage says, no, I'm not using it. Cage wanted to beat Paige on his own. Notice how he said, you want the machine one-on-one, you got it. I didn't need their help. He wanted to do it one-on-one, but Starks and Hook did not allow it. And that's the story that they're going to tell here. That's the story that they're telling here. Afterwards, Cage threw the title back to Starks, got into an argument with Hook. That allowed Paige to hit the buckshot lariat, and Paige defeats Brian Cage in the opening contest. And afterwards, Cage then walked away from Team Taz. Cage was not happy. He shoved Ricky Starks and he shoved Hook, and he walked away from Team Taz. This was a great match, and I mean a great match to open the show. Both of these men worked their asses off for 13 minutes. Both of these men absolutely brought it. And both of these men deserve a standing ovation. That was probably one of the best opening matches I've seen in a long, long time. They started the show off hot. And now we are getting a storyline. We're getting a storyline with Cage possibly moving away from Team Taz. And you know what? I would not mind that whatsoever. Maybe this could lead to an eventual tag team match with Christian Cage and Adam Page versus Team Taz. And that could finally be when Brian Cage breaks away from Team Taz. But this was a great match. A great fucking match between both men. Both men. This easily could have been a world championship match. This match down the line easily could be a world championship match. It was awesome. It was awesome. And Adam Hangman Page gets the win. Rightfully so. Now Page, he's going to get built up throughout the course of the summer. And when the time is right, Adam Hangman Page is going to go up against Kenny Omega. And Adam Hangman Page will be your next AEW World Champion. The Young Bucks versus Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. This was for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Jon Moxley, he's got the Wild Thing song. He's got the Wild Thing song, and the crowd singing along with his theme music. Man, it was a beautiful, beautiful thing to hear. I wasn't really a fan of Moxley's theme music, but in front of a live crowd, man, they eat it up. And I mean they eat it up. Jon Moxley, even after all this time, and Eddie Kingston too. Eddie Kingston too. Very, very happy for Eddie Kingston. So, they came out to Wild Thing. Moxley and Kingston then jumped the Bucks before the match even began. They beat them all around ringside. They went after Cutler as well, and they dropped Brandon Cutler, so he was out. After that, Bucks took over, and the bell finally rang. Moxley and Kingston then took over on Nick Jackson. Bucks then regained control. Kingston was isolated. Matt mocked his old babyface comeback. Kingston then hit an exploder suplex on Nick Jackson. We had a tag to Jon Moxley. Moxley then lit up the Bucks. We had a pile driver to Nick and an arm trap pile driver to Matt for a 2. We had a double DDT by Moxley to the Bucks. Good Brothers then caused a distraction. Frankie Kazarian attacked Carl Anderson while Eddie Kingston, he took out Doc Gallows. So the Good Brothers were neutralized. The referee was caught up with the hullabaloo on the outside. We had the spray can salt right into the eyes of Moxley. And then Matt hit Moxley with the bottle. Moxley kicked out. The Bucks then with a Meltzer driver to Moxley on the ramp. Looked brutal. He was busted open. Bucks then with an assisted senton to Moxley. He still kicked out. Moxley was isolated. He hit a double German suplex on the Bucks. Tagged to Kingston. He brought it to the Bucks. Kingston was over as fuck in this match. Bucks stopped his momentum quickly. Kingston got the knees up on a senton. We had a double super kick to Moxley. But Moxley then locked in the sleeper. Matt fought out of it. Matt was caught in the sleeper hold. The rear naked choke. Matt Jackson flipped out of it. Nick Jackson with a 450 splash onto Moxley. Matt covered him. Moxley still kicked out. Back and forth counters. We had a Doomsday device by Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley onto Matt. Nick just barely saved the match. Nick Jackson then locked in the sharpshooter on Moxley. He locked it in deep, but Kingston was able to come in and he was able to drop Matt, and then he took out Nick Jackson as well. We had Moxley hitting the paradigm shift, but Matt Jackson just broke that one up. We had super kicks to Moxley. Moxley still kicked out. He actually kicked out at 1. He was hulking up. But in the end, Moxley and Kingston both got taken out. And then the Bucks with not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 BTE triggers right to the back and the front of Jon Moxley. He got sandwiched between the Bucks' knees. And in the end, the Young Bucks retain the AEW World Tag Team Championships. This was an excellent match. This was an excellent match from start to finish. This will go down as perhaps the best tag team match of the year thus far. Very, very happy for all 4 of these men. They worked their ass off, especially Eddie Kingston. Very happy that Eddie Kingston got this moment. This match was fucking excellent from start to finish. Got 21 minutes of the time. All 4 men looked great. And in the end, Young Bucks retain. I knew the Young Bucks were going to retain. I knew the Young Bucks were going to retain specifically because Moxley's going away. He's going away to be a father. You're not going to put the titles on Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston if Jon Moxley's going to go away to care for his newborn child. You can imagine that Jon Moxley's going to want some time off with his wife to care for his child. So at the end of the day, Moxley and Kingston weren't going to win. Now, what happens? I don't know. I'm not sure if this is the last that we see of Jon Moxley for the summer. I'm not sure if Eddie Kingston could go off on his own. Maybe he does. Maybe Eddie Kingston goes off on his own. Maybe we see Eddie Kingston versus Miro for the TNT Championship. I think that those two could have some really good promos, and they'll have a very nice match, a very nice program, a very nice interim program to help enhance Miro. Where do the Young Bucks go? Well, Young Bucks, they're going to face off against a couple more interim tag teams throughout the course of the summer, and they will be facing Jurassic Express at All Out. At All Out in September, on the 5th, we will be seeing the Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express, and we will see the Bucks drop those titles to Jurassic Express, and they're going to put over Jurassic Express. And what happened in the Casino Battle Royal? That was a clear-cut indicator of what is to come later on in the year. The only thing that I will say in terms of being a critic is the fact that you put the Young Bucks on in the second match of the night. How do you expect anyone to follow that? The crowd didn't really start to pick up until Britt Baker and Sheeda towards the end of that match. And even that match suffered from a little bit of a lackluster crowd. The Bucks, whether you want to admit it or not, whether you love them or you hate them, the Bucks are match of the year candidate machines. They did it with Jurassic Express at All Out of last year. They did it with FTR at Full Gear. They did it with Jericho and MJF at Revolution. And tonight they did it with Moxley and Kingston. The Young Bucks are match of the year candidates. Whether you want to admit it or not, they are two of the best wrestlers in the world, period. Every single time the Young Bucks compete on the show, it is a match of the year candidate, whether you like it or not. You can't put these guys on at the beginning of the show. You're running the risk of putting these guys on at the beginning of the show, them stealing the whole show in the first or second match. And then, how do you expect anyone to follow that? How do you expect anyone to follow a match like that? You can't do that. That hurts the show. And that hurt a few matches throughout the course of the show. That hurt Miro and Archer, and that hurt the women's match up until the last 4 minutes. The Bucks need to be on later on in the show. If you would have switched Miro and Archer and the Bucks, or you would have put the Bucks on after Miro and Archer, and you would have put on Sheeda and Baker after Brian Cage and Hangman Page, that would have worked out a lot better. You're not going to put the Bucks on in the opening match and expect someone to follow it. You can't. Now, I will give AEW a little credit. They followed this match with the correct match, the Casino Battle Royal, but still, at the end of the day, you can't put the Young Bucks on in the opening match or in the second match of the night. It's not going to work. They're going to steal the show, and it's going to hurt the rest of the show. It's happened numerous times. You can't do that. So, from that we go to the Casino Battle Royal, and like I said, this was the perfect match to put on after those opening 3 matches. Calm the crowd down a bit. So Paul White came out for commentary. The first suit was the Clubs. The Clubs were Christian Cage, Matt Sydal, Powerhouse Hobbs, Dustin Rhodes, and Max Caster. Max Caster did his rap. He was fucking fantastic. If I haven't already said it enough, the crowd agrees with me. Max Caster is fucking fantastic. So the next suit was the Diamonds. Sydal and Caster were eliminated fairly quickly. The Diamonds were Isaiah Cassidy, Matt Hardy, Dark Order number 10, Serpentico, and Nick Comoroto. Serpentico was taken out fairly quickly. Comoroto and 10 had a nice back and forth. Rhodes took out Comoroto and number 10. Comoroto then hit Dustin with a cowbell. And on Friday actually. On Friday we got Dustin Rhodes versus Nick Comoroto in a bull rope match. Hobbs then took out Dustin. The next suit was the Hearts. That was the Varsity Blondes, Colt Cabana, Anthony Bowens, and Penta El Cero Miedo. Crowd went nuts for Penta. He was over in this match. Cabana got eliminated fairly quickly. Bowens got tossed. Garrison got taken out by Hardy. The next suit came out. It was the Spades. It was Mark Quinn, Aaron Solo, Evil Uno, Lee Johnson, and Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy. He got a major crowd pop. And he was the favorite in this match. Pillman got taken out. Johnson and Solo, they took out each other. Evil Uno was eliminated, and Jungle Boy took out Penta. Hobbs then resurfaced. Christian Cage then resurfaced. Cage then eliminated Hobbs. The Joker came out. It ended up being Lio Rush. Lio Rush. I thought it was going to be Sami Callihan, but it ended up being Lio Rush. And I had a feeling he wasn't going to win. He came in hot. Hardy got caught with a little bit of a botched stunner. A little sloppy, little miscommunications here and there. Fans were booing as Matt Hardy eliminated Lio Rush. They really loved Lio Rush in this one, but very happy for Lio Rush. Very happy that he got this opportunity. Very nice pickup for AEW. Jungle Boy and Christian Cage, then they took out Private Party, and then Christian Cage and Matt Hardy, they were going back and forth. Matt Hardy was trying to enlist the services of Christian Cage. He was like, hey, you know our history, you know, we used to be friends, blah, 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 blah. And he was trying to sweet talk. He was trying to sweet talk Christian Cage. Christian Cage, they did a little fist bump. Christian Cage said, fuck you. Fuck you. And he tossed Matt Hardy over the top. And we were down to 2. Christian Cage and Jungle Boy. They had a very nice back and forth. They were on the apron. Jungle Boy just trying to get Christian Cage over the top. Jungle Boy and Christian Cage, they were brawling on the apron. This counter was fucking beautiful right here. Christian Cage pushed Jungle Boy towards the post to shove him into the post so that way he'll drop to the floor. Jungle Boy held on to the post and did a swirl. He swirled himself around the post. He swirled himself around the post and he landed on the other side of the ring, on the other apron. Christian Cage didn't know what to make of this. He crawled back into the ring. He got hit in the gut. And Jungle Boy flipped Christian Cage over the top rope. And Jungle Boy wins the Battle Royal. A huge fucking moment to Jungle Boy. The crowd went nuts. They were singing his theme song, swaying their hands back and forth, singing Tarzan Boy. Crowd just absolutely erupted for Jungle Boy. And this is what they were waiting for right here. Tony Khan was waiting for a big push for Jungle Boy with fans back. And I'm very, very happy that they went with this route. They should not have gone with Christian Cage. No reason why Christian Cage needed to win this. No reason why he needed to go up against Omega. Jungle Boy was the correct route to go. That was probably the next best option if they weren't going to do Sami Callihan and you couldn't get Sami Callihan in for the Joker card. But I'm very, very, very happy. I'm very happy for Jungle Boy. A huge moment for Jungle Boy. Crowd went insane. And in 2 weeks, we got Jungle Boy and Kenny Omega for the AEW World Championship. And I'm very, very excited to see how Jungle Boy looks against Omega. Jungle Boy, who am I kidding? Jungle Boy's about to have the match of his fucking life with Kenny Omega. Jungle Boy's about to have the match of his fucking life with Kenny Omega. Hands down. And afterwards, we had Christian Cage coming in. He embraced Jungle Boy, and he gave the endorsement to Jungle Boy. And that right there is exactly why Christian Cage is in AEW. To help get other talent over, to help enhance others. He's not here to win championships. He's not here to take up a spotlight. He is there to help other talent, and he helped Jungle Boy here. A big endorsement by Christian Cage to Jungle Boy, and Jungle Boy is getting a shot against Kenny Omega. Big moment for the kid. Very happy that they went with Jungle Boy, and this is definitely going to set up Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus taking those tag team titles off of the Young Bucks because Kenny is involved with the Bucks. They're involved with the Elite. Jungle Boy may fail at winning the World Championship. He ain't going to fail at winning the tag team titles with Luchasaurus when they get the opportunity. Very typical Battle Royal, but the ending was very good. Right outcome. Jungle Boy wins, and he gets a shot against Omega. Big moment for the kid. Very, very happy for him. Anthony Gogo versus Cody Rhodes, the American Dream. Cody Rhodes. Listen, I'm not going to tell you that this match was dog shit. I'm not going to tell you that this match was dog shit horrible. It wasn't. I have seen plenty worse matches. I mean, I've watched however many fucking Goldberg matches since he came back to the WWE. I've seen Lana wrestle time after time again. I saw a fucking zombie lumberjack match just 2 weeks ago. So trust me, I know what horrible is. I know what horrible is. I'm not going to tell you that this was dog shit horrible, because it wasn't. Anthony Gogo, he did a lot better than I expected. He did a lot better than I expected. He was actually doing wrestling moves. He was actually moving okay. He actually delivered a pretty beautiful frog splash. I'm not going to lie. He actually had a pretty damn good frog splash. And he hit his moves. He hit his moves at the right time. Cody did what he could to make Gogo look good. Gogo didn't do half bad. But you're not going to hear me say that, oh yeah, this was pay-per-view worthy. It wasn't. There's no way, shape, or form that you can convince anyone that, oh yeah, this is a pay-per-view worthy match. It's not. It's not pay-per-view worthy. It's not pay-per-view worthy because Gogo hasn't done anything to constitute him as worthy of being in the spot. He's not a bad wrestler. He did okay against Cody. It wasn't a dog shit match. But was it pay-per-view worthy? No. Did he need it to be on the show? Absolutely not. Matter of fact, this match actually hurt the show in more ways than one. This match hurt the show in more ways than one. Outside of it not being pay-per-view worthy, this took up time that could have been given to Lance Archer and Miro for the TNT Championship. That was a match that I was actually looking forward to. That was a match that I was actually intrigued in. That was a match that I was actually interested in seeing how those two would mesh together. And by the end of it, I was left completely disappointed. It felt rushed. Why did we need to have this match on the show? Why did we need to have Anthony Gogo and Cody on the show? I understand that Cody's training with Anthony Gogo, and maybe he wants to make Gogo look good. Maybe Tony Khan sees big things in Anthony Gogo. I get it. But you don't just take someone who's only had 3 matches, including this match with Cody, 3 matches in his professional wrestling career, put him on one of your biggest shows of the year, and expect it to resonate well. It didn't resonate well. They took this program from 0 to 100 way too quickly. Listen, Gogo, he looks good. He looks good. He can cut a promo. He wasn't bad in this match. He did a lot of moves that were very impressive to me. He hit his moves just fine. He wasn't bad in the ring. But it wasn't pay-per-view worthy. It wasn't pay-per-view worthy, and it took up a spot on the show that honestly could have been saved for more time for other matches to tell more of a story instead of rushing through some matches. I don't understand why this match needed to happen. So Gogo hit a body shot immediately, and then he hit an Olympic slam for a 2 count. Cody came back with a power slam. Cody then with a cattle mutilation. Gogo with a nice forearm to stop the suicide dive. Gogo with a nice German suplex. He hit a big lariat for a 2, turning Cody inside out. Gogo then missed an elbow drop. Cody went after the hand of Gogo. Gogo then with a fireman's carry into a spin-out slam. Looked intense there. That got a 2 count. Gogo was cut a little bit above his right eye. Cody then hit the Cody cutter. Cody put Gogo on the top rope. Gogo dropped Cody with a big right hand. And then Gogo went up on top and he hit a beautiful frog splash. I will say that. Gogo he hit a very nice frog splash. Very nice frog splash for a 2. Cody then with a drop kick and a figure 4. Gogo then reversed the pressure. Crowd was chanting USA. Gogo then with a gut punch, an uppercut, and a gut wrench into a TKO for a 2. Cody reversed a move from Gogo and hit the vertebreaker, and Cody stacked up Gogo for the 1, 2, 3. Not a terrible match, but in no way, shape, or form did it need to be on the show. It actually killed the momentum of the show, if I'm going to be quite honest. It killed the momentum of the show. Number one, Gogo, I understand if you see big things for Gogo, but you can't just put him in a big-time matchup within his first few matches as a pro wrestler and expect people to care. You've given us no reason to care about Anthony Ogogo. Why is he feuding with Cody? Oh, just because he punched Cody and dropped the British flag over Cody? You took this feud from 0 to 100 way too quickly. You took this feud from 0 to 100 way too quickly. On top of that, Ogogo, he clearly wasn't ready for this spotlight. He clearly wasn't ready for this spotlight, and you clearly have no intention of pushing him to the moon, and rightfully so. That's why Cody won. For everyone asking, oh my God, why did Cody win? Why did Cody win? It's simple. Cody won because Ogogo is not ready. You're not going to have Ogogo beat Cody unless it's going to result in something. Notice how everyone that has defeated Cody Rhodes here in AEW, it's resulted in something. Jericho beat Cody to enhance him en route to losing the title to Moxley. MJF beat Cody en route to MJF getting a world title opportunity and forming the Pinnacle. Brody Lee beat Cody because they wanted to get Brody Lee over as a big babyface. Not a big babyface, a big heel. Darby Allin beat Cody because it was Darby Allin's time and he was ready. You're not going to have Ogogo beat Cody unless he's ready for that next level. And he's not. You're not going to push Anthony Ogogo when you got people like Lance Archer and Miro, Orange Cassidy, Pac, Darby Allin, Jungle Boy, Scorpio Sky, Adam Page, Brian Cage, Penta El Cero Miedo. You're not going to push Anthony Ogogo over all of those guys. Anthony Ogogo's not even in the same sentence as any of those individuals. So why are you going to push Anthony Ogogo over all of those individuals? You backed yourself into a corner here. Anthony Ogogo should have been slowly built up over the course of this year en route to a big-time matchup with Cody. No reason why you needed to put him out there in a match with Cody this early in his AEW career. No reason. No reason. Cody won because Ogogo is not ready. No matter how much you dislike Cody, no matter how much Cody's this, Cody's that, no matter what fucking agendas you want to push against Cody, Cody winning was the right outcome. It was the right outcome because Ogogo, if he won, where would he have gone? Where would he have gone? Are you going to push him to the TNT Championship? There's no way you're beating Miro after what Miro just did to Lance Archer in less than 10 minutes. You're not going to have Ogogo go up against Miro and him beat Miro after he made Lance Archer pass out in 9 minutes. You're not going to do that. You're not going to have Anthony Ogogo fight Kenny Omega for the World Championship after Omega gets done with Jungle Boy. You're not going to fucking do that. You're not going to have Ogogo go up against fucking Adam Hangman Page and take his spot. You're not going to have Ogogo beat Sting. You're not going to have Ogogo beat Darby Allin. You're not going to have Ogogo beat any of those guys. If Ogogo beat Cody, where would he have gone? He wouldn't have gone anywhere. He would have gone right back to facing jobbers, and he would have gone right back to the lower card, building himself up because he was not ready for that spot. Simple as that. Ogogo was not ready. Ogogo should not have been in this spot. No reason why this match should have taken place. You could have given 7-8 more minutes to Lance Archer and Miro to tell a legitimate story, and you really slowed down the momentum of the pay-per-view. The middle of the show was kind of a dull moment in the show. Picked up towards the end, but the middle of the show was kind of a dull moment. No way was this match pay-per-view worthy. It wasn't dog shit. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't horrendous. It wasn't like, oh my God, turn this match off. Both men did what they could. Ogogo wasn't half bad, but was it pay-per-view worthy? No, it wasn't. Sorry. Cody wins. Ogogo is not ready. Ogogo is not going to be pushed over any of the individuals that I already stated. That's why Cody won. You're not going to have Cody lose unless you have legitimate plans for the opponent that beat him. And you're not going to push Ogogo this soon. You're not. He's only had 3 fucking matches. Think, people, think. Miro versus Lance Archer. This was for the TNT Championship. This was rather disappointing. This was rather disappointing because these two men did not get enough time. They did not get enough time at all. They didn't. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened here. Well, actually, I do know what happened here. Gogo and Cody shouldn't have been on the show. Gogo and Cody should not have been on the show. No reason why the match should have taken place on the show. No reason why we needed to do that storyline. No reason why we needed to waste 12 minutes on that match. You could have easily given 7-8 more minutes to Miro and Lance Archer to tell a better story. And that way, it would have resonated well with the audience. So, Lance Archer attacked Miro right off the bat. Match started off hot. He kind of botched the dive over the top. Not really sure. I actually didn't catch it. I just caught it through the corner of my eye, but it looked like he botched it. Archer with an old school tightrope walk into the moonsault. Archer then with a chokeslam to Miro through the table. Miro then tossed Archer into the crowd of wrestlers, belly to belly on the floor. Miro was then hyping himself up. Archer then with a spin out full Nelson for a 2. Miro then with a fall away slam for a 2. All of a sudden, we're literally only 6 minutes into the match. Jake Roberts comes out. He tries to get the snake out of the bag. Miro then grabbed Lance Archer, took him into the ring, hit a body shot on him. Miro was getting ready to pounce. He was getting ready to pounce Jake Roberts. And then we had Archer coming in with a choke slam, but Miro kicked out. Miro then got pounced by Archer. Miro then kicked the middle rope into Archer's nuts. We had a big suplex into the ring, a thrust kick. The game over was locked in. Bent Archer back. Archer was locked in deep. Archer did not tap. He passed out. And Miro retains the TNT Championship here against Lance Archer. This match did not get enough time. I don't know what they were thinking here. I'm not sure if they were running short on time. I'm not sure if they even put any effort into this match. But these two men, it just felt rushed. It felt like these two men just wanted to get in and get out. I don't know what happened here. You could have easily taken Cody and Gogo off the show. You could have given more time to these two to actually have let the match breathe. Also, I don't understand why we needed that run-in by Jake Roberts. I don't understand why we needed that run-in. These are two big horses. Just let them go at it. No need for the outside shenanigans. This was a match that I was looking forward to, and it ended up being a disappointment. Now, it was the right outcome and the right booking decision to have Archer lose via a pass out and not a tap out. Miro retains the title. That's fine. It was the right outcome, right booking decision, right ending. But the match itself, way too short, felt rushed. I don't know what happened with this match, but they really need to do a better job at time management. Time management is one thing that AEW can sometimes get right, and they sometimes get it wrong. It's like a 50-50 thing with AEW. Sometimes they have great time management, other times they have shitty time management. I'm not sure what it is, but they need to get on a good time management streak. They need to put time management at the top of their list in terms of improvement. Time management is so important when it comes to pro wrestling. Time management is so important because it gives storylines time to breathe, it gives matches time to tell a story, and it gives individuals time to get over. Time management is extremely vital, and it's something that AEW really needs to work on in some cases. Some cases they get it right, some cases they don't get it right. In this case, they did not get it right. Miro and Lance Archer should have gotten more time to actually tell a legitimate story. I don't know why. We got Hikaru Shida versus Britt Baker, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. This was for the AEW Women's World Championship. Both women were actually very over in this match. Now, the match itself, it was sloppy at times. I have to point out the flaws when I see it. The match was sloppy at times. Both women worked hard. It wasn't terrible. The match was very, very sloppy at times. But the last 4 minutes of this match, were awesome. The last 4 minutes of this match really, really brought the crowd to the edge of their seat, and the crowd was invested in everything that these two women did in the last 4 minutes of this match. Great stuff in the last 4 minutes. So both women were over. Very, very happy to see the crowd actually show Sheeda some appreciation. Sheeda with a big crossbody to the outside, taking out Rebel and Britt Baker. Baker took over control. She hit a curb stomp. She broke out the glove pretty early. She kept the pressure on Sheeda. Sheeda fought back, hit a ground and pound, some rising knees in the corner. Sheeda then with a knee strike to the back for a 2. Baker and Sheeda traded strikes. We had a fisherman neck breaker by Baker for a 2. Super kick by Baker. Nice sling blade and an air raid crash, but Sheeda kicked out. Sheeda then fought out of the lockjaw position and hit a German suplex. Diving elbow smash for a 2. Both women were on the top. Sheeda went for a backbreaker. Looked like a little bit of a botched backbreaker on the top turnbuckle. Not really sure what that was. It looked like it was a little bit of miscommunication there on both women's parts. But it was a backbreaker nonetheless. A sloppy, very sloppy looking backbreaker. They regained control. They got on the same page. Sheeda hit a superplex for a 2. Rebel caused a distraction, and she accidentally hit Britt Baker with her crutch. Referee obviously saw it. I'm wondering why that wasn't a disqualification, but I guess it's referee's discretion. Rebel hit Baker with the crutch by mistake. Sheeda covered. Baker just barely kicked out. Crowd actually thought that was it. Sheeda hit the Falcon Arrow, but Baker still kicked out. Rebel then got into it with the referee again. Baker then used the belt, super kicked Sheeda, and then hit a curb stomp on the championship title belt. Crowd's going crazy. Sheeda kicked out. I thought that was it, but Sheeda kicked out. Crazy shit. Sheeda then hit the Tamashi on Baker, but Baker kicked out and rolled up Hikaru Shida in a crucifix pin. Sheeda kicked out of that. Baker transitioned into the lockjaw. Baker pressured her hand on the mandibular nerve, and Sheeda tapped out. Britt Baker is the new AEW Women's World Champion to a mega crowd pop. A huge fucking crowd pop. Great, great, great material right here. Sloppy match at times. A little bit of miscommunication, but the last 4 minutes of the match were excellent. Excellent shit in the last 4 minutes. Both women brought it, and Sheeda, look, she's had a great reign. Sheeda's had a great reign, 372 days, but it was time. It was time. This is what they were building towards. Britt Baker gets the win. Right outcome. Crowd went nuts. Britt Baker, she is, and I mean, I'm telling you right now, she is a fucking superstar if I have ever fucking seen one. The woman is a superstar. Great shit right here. Afterwards, we had an embrace by Britt Baker and Tony Schiavone, which was great. Nice little moment right there for those two. Baker is now the queen of the AEW Women's Division, and she's got a plethora of challengers to look forward to. Chris Statlander, Red Velvet, Ty Conti, Nyla Rose. But ultimately, Thunder Rose is going to be the woman. Thunder Rose is going to be the woman to take that title off of Britt Baker when the time is right. As far as Sheeda now is going to transition into more of a Riho role. She's going to be there to give others great matches. She's not going to come out victorious, though. She's going to be there to enhance others, and that's where she should be. She's had her moment in the sun for over a year. Now it's Britt Baker's time. Britt Baker's going to carry that division for the next 7, 8, 9 months. Who knows? Maybe she may hold this title for a solid year like Sheeda did. Who knows? But sloppy match at times. Sloppy match at times, but the last 4 minutes of the match were great. Baker won, huge crowd pop, right outcome. Sting and Darby Allin versus Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. Now, this was a match that I was actually most intrigued in because I actually wanted to see how Sting would operate. It's easy to be invested in a Stadium Stampede, Sheeda or Baker, and Cage and Paige, or Omega Cassidy Pac. It's easy to be invested in something like that. But I was very intrigued to see how Sting was going to handle himself and how Paige and Sky were going to perform in a big match like this. Now, Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. The pairing's very odd, very confusing, very random, hasn't really clicked, but damn, this match was great. And I mean, this match was fucking great. I was not expecting this match to be this good, but this match, I'm telling you, I guarantee you this match exceeded everybody's expectations. Brawl started immediately with Darby Allin, like the fucking maniac that he is, dove through the ropes. He dove through the ropes, and he took out Ethan Page. Brawl started on the ramp between Sky and Sting. Sky hit a suplex to Sting on the stage. Then he took time to showboat. Sting got back up, sent Sky off the stage onto Paige. Sting, like a fucking maniac, guy's fucking crazy, 62 years old, Sting dove off the poker chips onto Sky and Paige. Sting, at 62 years old, still doing dives. What a guy. What a guy Sting is. So, in the ring, Sting and Darby double teamed Scorpio Sky, crowds chanting, "You still got it." Sky was on the receiving end of a lot of offense. Paige and Sky took over control and they isolated Darby. Darby tagged in Sting, but Aubrey didn't see the match. Not the match, the tag rather. Aubrey didn't see the tag. She forced Sting back onto the apron. Paige then took on Darby, and this was fucking crazy right here. Ethan Page military pressed Darby Allin over his shoulders, and he threw him over the rope, over the barricade, into the crowd, and they specified that Darby Allin's brothers were in the crowd. He military pressed Darby over the top, over the barricade, into the crowd where Darby Allin's brothers were. Fucking insane. I legitimately was concerned for Darby, and Darby Allin was selling this as if he was fucking dead. Darby Allin was selling this as if he was dead. He was dead. Sting was pulling him back, pulling him out of the crowd. Darby got back into the ring. He would not quit. He eventually made the tag to Sting. Sting with Stinger splashes to Sky and Paige. Sting hit a code red on Ethan Page for a 2. Guy's 62 years old doing code reds. Darby then got the tag. Paige stopped Darby Allin on the top rope. He threw Darby onto Sting. He went for the Ego's Edge, but Sting locked in the Scorpion Deathlock. Sky then came in, and he locked in a heel hook on Darby, and this was actually one of my favorite parts of the match. Darby and Paige, while they were in submission holds, and the fact that they have history and they hate each other so much, they were trading slaps and gouging each other's eyes while they were in the submission holds, which was great. I love that. So, holds were broken. Sky and Sting, they tagged in, back in the ring. They went back and forth. Sky went for a slingshot cutter. Sting caught him with a Scorpion Death Drop, and Sting wins it. This match was great. One of my personal favorite matches of the night. A match that I was very much looking forward to, and this match did not disappoint. Crowd was hyped for it, and the crowd, they absolutely gave back to everything that all 4 of these men did. Sting, 62 years old, looked fantastic. I don't know what he's been doing. He found the fountain of youth somewhere. He looked great. He looked great. Loved every minute of it. I loved Every single minute of it. You could have made a case for either of these teams to come out victorious, but it was Sting and Darby that came out victorious. Great moment for both Darby and Sting. Take nothing away from Sky and Paige, too. They fucking delivered. This was a big, big match for them, and these were heavy fucking shoes to fill. They were in charge of protecting Sting and making Sting look good, and they did much more and some for Sting. They did a great job. And you know what? I wouldn't mind seeing this program continue based on how good this match was. I would absolutely love to see an Ethan Page Darby Allin match one-on-one. That would be great. That would be awesome. Maybe we see a Sky and Sting match. I don't know. But Sting and Darby Allin, they get the win. They get the win. And Darby Allin, his stock continues to rise. Sting looks great. Sting looks great. Great tag team match. Triple threat match. Three-way match for the AEW World Championship. This was fucking fantastic shit. Definitely in contention for match of the night. Definitely in contention for a match of the year candidate. This match and the tag team title match, those two matches. Two match of the year candidates right there. This was a fantastic triple threat match. Probably one of the best triple threat matches that has been produced in a good while. A good while. So Omega and Pac, they had a nice back and forth before Cassidy came in. Cassidy came in like a house of fire. Suicide dive to Pac. Tornado DDT on Omega for a 2. Pac with a springboard moonsault on Omega on the floor. Pac then focused in on Cassidy. We had a shotgun dropkick to Omega and Cassidy, taking them out at the same time. Omega then targeted Pac. Cassidy tried for a roll-up, but Omega took him down. We had a big Tope Con Hero by Omega onto both men. Cassidy with a Stun Dog Millionaire. Cassidy and Omega traded pins before Pac hit a 450 onto Cassidy, onto Omega. Looked crazy. We had a Snapdragon Suplex to Pac. Snapdragon Suplex to Cassidy. V-triggers to Cassidy and to Pac. Pac then reversed it. He hit a Snap German Suplex. Super kick to Cassidy. Omega with another V-trigger to Cassidy. Cassidy then put his hands in his pockets to block the Snapdragon from the top. And Pac hit an avalanche German suplex to Omega off the top. Cassidy with his hands in his pockets hit a plancha to Pac on the floor. We then had Cassidy getting hit with the Tiger Driver 98, but he still kicked out. Omega then with a bridging German suplex to Pac for another close 2. Cassidy then put his hands in his pockets, fell flat. He was out of it. Omega went for a V-trigger. He hit it on Pac. Cassidy came out of nowhere with a Michinoku driver. Pac with a brainbuster on Cassidy, but Cassidy kicked out. We had a beautiful sunset flip powerbomb to Pac. Then he hit an avalanche Falcon Arrow. Omega was out. Cassidy tossed Pac to the outside, covered Omega. Omega barely kicked out. Barely kicked out. Pac then came in, hit a low blow to Cassidy. He hit a tope on Omega and a black arrow on Cassidy, but Omega saved it. Omega then got hit with the orange punch and the beach break, but Omega kicked out. We had an orange punch to Pac, orange punch to Omega. Cassidy was getting fired up. A second orange punch. Don Callis pulled the ref out, and Cassidy was fucked over. Cassidy then tried to take out Omega. He did. Pac locked in the brutalizer on Cassidy, but Pac didn't let go. Omega, out of desperation, took out the ref. Omega hit Pac with the Impact World title. He hit him with the AAA World title. Hit him with the TNA World title. And he hit him with the AEW World title. But out of nowhere, Cassidy with the orange punch. But there was no ref. Aubrey came out. 1, 2. Omega rolled up Cassidy in a kick-out position. Omega got the 1, 2, 3 with a crucifix pin on Orange Cassidy. And Omega retains the World Championship by the skin of his teeth. Fantastic triple threat match. Omega barely getting by. Now we got a match with Omega and Jungle Boy in 2 weeks. Should be great. Should be great. And Omega, let me tell you something. If we do get a match with Omega and Cassidy down the line, I would love to see that. I cannot wait to see that. But this was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic stuff here. And Cassidy, he got fucked over, so I can absolutely see Cassidy vying for a rematch against Omega, and we could get Omega and Cassidy before we eventually get Omega Paige, and Paige takes that title off of him. It was announced that All Out will be returning in Chicago on Sunday, September 5th, and Full Gear is going to be on November 6th, Saturday, in St. Louis, Missouri. Really, really, really good stuff here. Very much looking forward to what those two pay-per-views have to offer. And All Out or Full Gear, one of those two pay-per-views, Omega is going to lose the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm going to go with All Out, as Paige is going to face Omega sooner rather than later based on the pops that he's been getting. Just watch. Just watch. Main event was the Stadium Stampede number 2. Pinnacle in the Inner Circle. And if the Inner Circle lost, they would have had to break up forever. Now, this match, a lot of people were concerned about this match, how it was going to come off in front of a live crowd, considering that last year's was taped. But they actually did a very, very, very good job. I'm not lying. They did a very good job with Stadium Stampede. This match was awesome. This was awesome. It was chaotic. Was it better than last year's? I'm going to go with yes, considering that there was more story going into this match rather than last year's. Last year's was just kind of, oh hey, Elite Inner Circle, they're the only two factions here in AEW, and we got it. But this match, I would say, was better because of the story going into it and all of the stories that they told in this match. So, Pinnacle drove to the ring in the stadium on a limo. MJF came out, he talked some shit. The Inner Circle then came down from the LED sign on zip lines. It looked great. So they came down the stairs. MJF locked himself in his limo. The Pinnacle came driving in on FTR's truck. Big brawl started. They got into the ring. The ref started the match. Sammy then with a flying cutter to Spears. So everyone kind of matched up. It was MJF and Jericho. It was Sammy and Spears. FTR and Proud and Powerful. Hager and Wardlow. Spears with a Blue Thunder Bomb. MJF and Jericho, they stared face to face. Jericho was looking at MJF. MJF said, "Bring it, you piece of shit." MJF used a fire extinguisher on Jericho, and they all brawled into the stadium. MJF got hit with a trash can. MJF then hit Jericho with a phone. Jericho then screamed into a megaphone to regain control. He hit MJF with a cookie pan, similar to how Steve Austin hit Vince McMahon with a bedpan. We had MJF getting hit with a wet floor sign. Jericho was then given footballs by the Jacksonville Jaguars coach. And he threw him at MJF. He threw MJF off of a ledge, through a table. MJF and Jericho brawled away into the stadium. Hager and Wardlow, they brawled into the storage area. Wardlow was hitting Hager with these plastic containers. They brawled into a walk-in freezer. They were in the storage room. Wardlow then speared Hager through a wall. Sammy went looking for Spears. Spears surrounded by chairs. They brawled into a chair's storage room. Guevara then did a backflip off the wall, hit a spin kick. He used a forklift to his advantage. He was then sent into the steel garage door by Spears. Spears then used a chair. They brawled into the storage room some more. Sammy choked out Spears with some cable wires. Then he dropped Spears on a pile of rubble. He went up to a second-story storage platform, and he was going to dive on him, but Spears moved out of the way. Spears then cuffed Sammy Guevara. He cuffed Sammy Guevara to the storage room area, and he walked out, but Guevara found bolt cutters. So obviously that was not the last that he saw from Sammy Guevara, was Shawn Spears. So FTR and Proud and Powerful, they were in the bar area. They each took shots. They clanked their shots, chugged them, and all of a sudden, the camera panned to the DJ, and it was Conan. Conan was the DJ for the bar fight. Fantastic shit. Really, really entertaining and funny stuff. So we had the bar fight. Cash Wheeler was throwing fucking beer bottles at Ortiz. That looked like it fucking hurt. I would not want to be on the receiving end of that. We then had the bar fight spilling into the elevator. And Santana, I believe it was Santana and Dax Harwood, they brawled into the elevator. That was the last time you saw them. Back to Wardlow and Hager. They brawled onto a golf cart. Wardlow got chokeslammed through wooden pallets. Back to MJF and Jericho. They brawled into the executive offices. Jericho then took a Pinnacle card that said thank you, stapled it to MJF's head. MJF was selling the shit out of it. He was screaming. So they brawled into the executive offices. MJF hit a pile driver on Jericho on the tables, but Jericho kicked out. Jericho hit MJF with Floyd the Bat. Jericho called MJF an asshole and then sent MJF through the glass window of the door. Spears then came face to face with the Inner Circle Motorcycle Club, and he was running away from them. Jericho brawled MJF into Daly's place. MJF was bleeding. He tried to toss Jericho off the stands, but he ended up getting powerbombed through a wooden table, and that was the last we saw of MJF. Back in the ring, Spears got away from the Motor Gang. Sammy came chasing Spears on a golf cart, ran him over. Crowd is going nuts. Crowd's going nuts. So in the ring, Spears hit Sammy with a chair, but Sammy kicked out. Sammy then flipped off Shawn Spears, hit a chair shot to the head. Sammy still kicked out. Spears then mounted a chair in the corner, similar to how he drove Sammy's head into the chair. And Sammy fought back, hit the go to hospital, and then he stomped Spears' head right into the chair. Spears said, "No, Sammy, you son of a bitch." Sammy still did it. Sammy went up to the top, hit the 630 senton, and Guevara wins it for the Inner Circle. This was awesome. Afterwards, the crowd singing Judas, and the show ends. Show ends with the Inner Circle standing tall, and they win Stadium Stampede number 2, and they get to remain together. And I'm very, very happy that Sammy Guevara got this moment, because Sammy Guevara, he has worked his ass off for a moment like this. Sammy Guevara has busted his ass day in and day out for a huge moment like this. And Sammy Guevara absolutely, out of everyone on that roster, deserves this big moment. And I love how Sammy did it, because Sammy was the one that surrendered at Blood and Guts. And tonight he redeemed himself. Tonight he redeemed himself, and tonight he gets the win in the main event of Double or Nothing. And he is the one that makes sure the Inner Circle remains together after he surrendered at Blood and Guts. Beautiful storytelling. Beautiful, beautiful storytelling right here. That's what I love to see. And I'm telling you, this still ain't over. This is going to continue throughout the summer. Why? Because MJF is going to remain occupied with this. MJF is going to remain occupied with this until it is time. Until it is time to pull the trigger. And we get MJF versus Adam Hangman Page at the beginning of 2022 at Revolution. I can absolutely see Shawn Spears and Sammy Guevara facing off one-on-one at a Fyter Fest. I can see FTR and Proud and Powerful two-on-two at Fyter Fest as well. And I don't know what they do as far as a third match goes, but I can see that happening at All Out. I can absolutely see that happening at All Out. It's going to be a very, very, very good summer for AEW, considering that we have had all of this great stuff. We got Omega, we got the Bucks, we got Baker as the women's champion. We got a great ending, great Stadium Stampede Part 2. I would say it was better than the first one. And Sammy gets the win big moment for Sammy Guevara. Very nice storytelling with Sammy Guevara redeeming himself after what happened at Blood and Guts. And the Inner Circle gets to remain together. The Inner Circle stays together. Crowd gets sent home happy. Tony Khan, I would say he redeems himself. Awesome, awesome show. And if you're asking me to rate this on the level of which AEW show's been the best since its existence, I would probably have to say this was the second best show that AEW's ever put on. The best show, Full Gear 2019. I'm sorry, that show, fucking great. I don't think anyone can look at me with a straight face and tell me that that show had a bad match on it. That show was damn near perfect. Damn near. But this was an awesome show, too. Outside of Cody and Gogo and the TNT title match, I would say this was a excellent show. And all matches had the right outcomes. Great moment for Sammy in the main event. And AEW, it's going to be a damn good summer. I would say it's going to be a damn good summer for AEW. Ladies and gents, that wraps up this edition of The Rewind. I would like to thank each and every single one of you who tuned into this video. I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the links in the description. I will be back on Saturday for the Lightning Flash update to let you guys in on how WWE needs to make SummerSlam the best pay-per-view of the year and what they need to do it, what type of matches they need to put on the show. I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you for joining me here on this Tuesday. Till next time, I'm DJ Storms. This has been The Rewind for Double or Nothing 2021, and I will catch you tweeting later tonight for NXT on Tuesdays. Peace out.